Hello faithful viewers and welcome back to another review. This time we're looking at the Transformers Dark of the Moon Human Alliance Scout Class Icepick. Now Icepick here turns into a snowmobile of a nondescript nature. His primary colour is white, as you can see, with the secondary colour really being the purple accents. You've got this clear windowed kind of bit here. You've got some text on the side that says FreeCon. I think it's an F-R-E-Con. What this really meant to stand for, I don't particularly know. Then you've got obviously the black skis on the front there. You've got black tyres on the back with some gold accents along the side. And then you've got some silver trim along the front with a nice Decepticon logo right there. Now granted, he is only a Scout class sized figure, so he's not exactly going to be spitting full of intricate detail, but for what he is, he's pretty nice. Now yes, he is a Human Alliance figure, and he does come with a small little tiny human compatriot called Sergeant Chaos. I do still have him, but this is the state of my box collection. Yeah, I don't really want to go fishing in there for him, for such a small little figure that could easily get lost. So you're just going to have to put up with this review being sans Sergeant Chaos. If he were here though, all I would be showing you with the Sergeant is that he is just basically kind of a generic military kind of mould, and the only things that he can really do with Icepick are just to sit on his seat area here and hold his handlebars. So there's really not much to him, and his absence in this video, you're not missing a lot. What else does Icepick have? Well, he comes with these really freaking annoying blasters. At least I think they're meant to be blasters. And now you can see that they operate via a C-joint system, and Icepick has various C-joint bars all over him. He's got some on the front of his thingamabobs here. He's got some on his handlebars, and he's got some on the back here. And I think it's these back bars they are meant to go on. Except the problem is, these C-joint clips are so small that these have no grip on them whatsoever, and they just fly off with minimal effort. And this, like you can see how wobbly that is. This is a piss poor C-joint system on Icepick here. I don't know if I just got a defective copy back in the day, but blimey, you can see there is no grip on there whatsoever. That's rubbish, but that's how they're meant to be apparently. So you've got these, and there is no real best way for him to even hold these in robot mode. So for the majority of this review, they're just going to be cast off to the side, but they are, again, a simple white plastic, not painted, with nice silver tips though. Very dagger-esque, so they can double as ranged weapons and melee weapons, I suppose. Yeah, they're rubbish though. They're not worth spending a lot of time on. Now the funny thing is about Icepick, he is actually technically a triple changer. So before we look at the robot mode, we'll look at the weapon chainsaw mode. There's not a lot to it. It's very simple. You just basically want to be detaching the rear tyres, like so. It's a little bit of a pull because of the way it connects in for the reverse transformation. But just pull that out, and then with this white panel here, I want to be folding this through, but just keeping everything else in place here. And then splitting this, rotating it all the way around so that there is now silver on the outside, and then pull the torso bit down like that. And yeah, technically that's it. According to the box art, that is his chainsaw weapon mode. It is kind of naff really, isn't it? Let's be honest. He has got the minicon port on there, so you could actually attach an Armada style minicon, but I think the idea is that this now makes him kind of like a weapon for maybe a Deluxe or a Voyager or a Leader. Let's test that, shall we? I so happen to have Dark of the Moon Jolt here, and let's see what we can do with Icepick. So there is a convenient MechTech port on Jolt's wrist. I think a minicon port will go in there. Yep. And in theory, I think this is kind of what you're meant to do. Yeah, stupid. To transform Icepick into robot mode, first thing that we want to be doing, I suppose, is taking the skis and folding them up like that. Then we want to be detaching the back end like that, really tugging on these to get them out of the groove that they've found themselves in. And then we can come to the legs, we can split them and fold the feet out as well as the heels. Same thing on the other side as well. And then we can come to the top here and split all of this apart and fold all of this apparatus down for clearance. And just rotate all of this to the side. Then we can rotate him out the elbows, just like that. Then take this panel here and rotate it up so it covers the rest of the forearm, like so. And you can see that we are almost done. There's really not a lot to it because it's only a Scout class sized figure. So this back bit here, we want to just fold back like that. We want to take this front part here, pull it down, that reveals the lower torso, and then we can fold the skis up appropriately like so, keep everything down, then on the translucent purple bit there, fold it back up only about that far because the ball joint is incredibly weak, and we'll show that off again in a second. But that's the head reveal. And then there is like a groove on the back here which suggests where the raised section of this purple blip should slot into. It's not a proper slot per se, it's just a groove to say, hey, this is really where you should be lining it up. And then with the tyres here, split them like that, and then hinge all of this down, and then really loosely clip that over the lip parts of these white bits here. And that's kind of it. Not a lot to it, as I said. That is Icepick transformed into a strange robot mode. So this is Icepick then. Now, from the offset, the design is actually pretty unique and pretty cool. I do like the way generally how he looks. If we zoom in for greater detail, we can see that his head is kind of moulded after like a hockey mask sort of thing, you know, the stereotypical thing that a goalie might wear, in that there is some detail there behind the translucent purple faceplate. Apparently there is evidence of like a proper face for him that might be revealed with the light piping. Yeah, and as we can see, the light piping does reveal what looks to be eyes behind the mask, so there's evidence of a unique face behind there. It's decent light piping, not the best ever, but you know, pretty good. But otherwise, in terms of detail, not a lot has changed between the robot mode and the vehicle mode. There's still a lot of the same. There are gold trims going all along the body of the robot, which I failed to point out in vehicle mode. But, you know, you still got the same silver chest, the same Decepticon logo on the front like that. Black forearms are now revealed, but the legs are still the same. It's all the same kind of thing. He's a squat little thing, really. He's you know, he's decent. My main gripe with the figure, just in general, still remains the weaponry on these pathetic C-joints here. You just love it. You can see there's barely any room whatsoever for that to clip on. You poke it and prod it with the slightest effort and it will go flying off. They really could have done with implementing proper handles onto it, because he's got palms that are open, looks like he could have held something. Why not actually give him proper guns? Why give him these stupid things? I don't know. With regards back kibble, there's not a hell of a lot, but you know, you've got the massive claw tread things on the back here. And there is a little bit of personal preference that you can have with regards positioning on there, but I find that this is the most appropriate thing. It gets them the most flush against his back, I think, and the diagonal nature of which they sit allows a more menacing appearance for him. He is a Decepticon after all. Plus, this way, there is sufficient gappage there to allow it to wrap around these white bits, as I demonstrated during the transformation. You can see it is a little bit floppy though, but that's just because of years of play that he's had. Mind you, I don't recall playing with this guy a lot compared to other figures in my collection. He's not really one that I suppose care for all that much. Maybe that's evidenced in the clear play that he's had. So, posability and articulation. Now, I'll just say straight out of the gate, in terms of posability, there ain't a lot of options, especially in the legs. But general articulation, so his head is on a ball joint, but you need to be careful, and I hinted toward this earlier. He can only look up that far, and that's, you know, the full extent of his head reveal as part of the transformation, because if you try to push this back any further, his head snaps off. Fortunately, as I said, it's a ball joint, so it'll clip back on, but just because of the nature of this back piece here and the groove and the lip and all of that, that's as far as you're going to get, so he can't look up and down. He can look all the way due to transformation, and then, you know, left and right he's limited again because of this purple bit here bashing into stuff, so head articulation isn't very good. That just fell off, as we know. Now the arms, again, ball joints, they could go 360, they are blocked by the treads here. In terms of outward and inward, you've got that far, so that's pretty good. You've got ball jointed elbows, so 360 swivel there, and 90-degree bends at said elbows as well. Nothing of the wrists at all. You've got a little bit of inward and outward there, so it's sort of a butterfly joint, except it's not, because it's just a mirage as part of the ball joint system there. Although that just fell off. Although you do kind of have like a shoulder shrug butterfly going on there. In terms of the waist, you've got no swivel of any kind. You've not really got an ab crunch, although you could fake one by doing a part of the transformation like that, although you just will cause everything to go ski-whiff with the figure. He's got ball jointed hips, so he's got a forward kick of about that far and a back kick of a mighty degree that far. And in terms of the spread, a beautiful spread. In terms of the knees, he has double jointed knees thanks to transformation, so you've got a 90-degree bend there which you can go over just like that. Again, you are transforming the legs essentially, but you know, you've got good range of motion there. You've got no swivel at the knee or the thigh. This is being accomplished by the ball joint in the hip here. And in terms of the feet, you've got a little bit of up and down wiggle waggle due to transformation, but no ankle rockers whatsoever. And it's the lack of this. I mean, you can see they are just screwed in with like a Phillips head screw. But just due to the lack of a rocker of any kind, it really does make posability with the legs extraordinarily difficult. And so you struggle to really put Icepick in anything like a dynamic pose, and especially with these things falling off all the time, it just makes posability a pain. For size comparisons then, here is our Icepick on the left next to Revenge of the Fallen Scout Class Scattershot on the right. Here he is next to Dark of the Moon Deluxe Class Jolt. Here he is next to Dark of the Moon Studio Series Deluxe Class Dino. And then here he is next to Marvel Legends Far From Home Mysterio. To transform Icepick back into vehicle mode, the first thing that we want to do is just get rid of these really annoying weapons. And then, now I've practiced a little bit beforehand, so let's give it a go. Let's just get all of this faff at the back out of the way. We might as well combine it at this stage and just pull it all out like so. His head might want to flip itself in, oblige it, push it in all the way. Then just take these, get them like that, and then squeeze the torso back up and flush against the underside of the front of the snow speeder, whatever you want to call it. Take the arms, let's pop them up like that. Let's take this panel and let's rotate it 180. And then rotate these all the way around at the elbow and snap the arms together. And you've got the seating arrangement. Then claps the feet, rotate everything up into the sides like so, and then comes the ever so slightly confusing part. I wouldn't go so far as to say it's tricky, because it's really not, but you want to be keeping this panel flat against here and then double hinging this back in on itself. Now, it'll feel like for a start that's as far as it wants to go, but it will go further. You just really have to push like so. And then the convenient hole there lines up with the minicom port underneath, and I'll just thread right through. And that, ladies and jelly beans, is Icepick's snow shovel mode complete. The only thing really left to do is just to attach these blasters somewhere. Let's, for the sake of this, just go on the back, clipping them nicely onto the C-joints right there. Well, he says nicely. Forget that. Okay, so that's been our look at the Dark of the Moon Human Alliance Scout Class sort of Icepick. So, pros. Looks nice. Nice design, nice paint scheme all over him, looks menacing, cool, nice vehicle mode as well. Cons, the weapons. The weapons, they're a load of bollocks. They really are. These things, pain. Just pain. Get rid of them. Lose them. You'll lose them easily. And then secondly, posability. He lacks quite a lot. You really cannot pull off dynamic poses with him. So, do I recommend Dark of the Moon Icepick? Not really. You're not going to miss anything by skipping him by any means. He exists. He's there. He's kind of meh. Nice design, but you're not missing out on much if you don't get him. So yeah, I'd say pass, to be honest. He is what he is. But anyway, thank you everybody so much for stopping by and checking out this review. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, and share it around to help out the channel. And until the next time, see you all later.